Hello, my name is Harmanpreet Kaur. My student ID is 2017381. The major policies that the Australian government as well as the Reserve Bank of Australia have put into place to combat the bad effect of oil on the economy are outlined below. Controlling the money supply is one of the many ways in which it can help to bring stability to the currency of the state, thereby promoting employees and also fulfilling the demand of the economy. As a result, the Australian government has also opted this tool as a part of its efforts to bring stability to the economy following the recession. Easy funding to small and medium-sized businesses which was given by the central bank to aid in the recovery of the economy. This easy funding to them without fear and collateral and for a longer period was also a good decision in good weathering the recession. The impact on unemployment. The monetary policy was able to control unemployment by introducing low interest rates to the market as a result of the low interest rate imposed by banks. Suppose there was a market in which the interest rates of the bank was very low, so the people taking out loans would have to pay fewer charges for their borrowing in the end. So the borrowing cost would be reduced and people would be able to borrow more and invest more. That way, the unemployment rates in the country will be reduced and thus people will be able to overcome their unemployment. A very small increase in the interest rates paid to bank has a big impact on the employment market as an increase in the interest rate will decrease borrowing or you might say loans due to heavy interest charges, and what this will ultimately means is that fewer people will be able to find work and more people will become unemployed. The unemployment rate in the economy increased after the COVID due to lockdown of the economy. So this policy will be very beneficial to a large extent to help overcome this problem. Additionally, the Employment Bank also stipulated that until the state has reached equilibrium in terms of employment, the interest rates are not to be increased to ensure the stability of employment. Impact on inflation. In addition to the term financing facility, as this policy was also a part of an economic monitoring policy, it helps small and medium-sized businesses to be able to get funding for a fixed period of time in much easier way, thus affecting the economy as a whole, which in turn also impacted the unemployment rate and inflation rate. This policy made by the funding facility easier and all the small and medium institutions involved in the Australian economy had an easier time investing and doing business, which ultimately resulted in a significant increase in the GDP and helped to decrease the impact of inflation in Australian society. As a result of the reduction in the cash rate, it has also been able to significantly decrease inflation, since inflation has led to an increase in the price of commodities in addition to all other goods and services which have increased living cost. Inflation was caused by low employment rates and income, but by reducing the cash rate, the impact of inflation was lessened. This has led to Bank Board of Directors reducing the cash rate to a level where the borrowing capacity of the user can increase at a level that is comfortable to them, thus stabilizing the economy and keeping it stable.
The minority policy of low interest rate and cutting down the cash rate impacted the output level as the cash rate was cut down. The cost of borrow decreased and the demand for borrow increased, thus increasing investment, which decreased inflation as well as unemployment issue and increase the output level in the economy by increasing in employment rate and investment. It can be said the increasing investment by increasing the borrow of the people can increase the level of output by causing the stabilization of economy and burning up the level of output. During the recession, the reduction of the short-term interest rate play a major role in increasing employment and decreasing inflation, which in turn contribute to high level of output. Therefore, the more investment there was, the less inflation there would be. A minority policy that does this is what make the whole economy fight to come to the level that stable for the long run and overcome these issues as a result of minority policy. So according to formula, AD equal to C plus I plus G plus NX, AD $800 plus 0.8 YD plus $600 plus $1,000 plus 0. So AD equal to $2,400 plus 0.8 YD. To make it at equilibrium, it should be AD equal to AS. But here $2,400 plus 0.8 YD is equal to $15,000. YD is equal to $15,000 minus $2,400 slash 0.8. So YD $15,750. So it means that the equilibrium level of income in the economy is $15,750 million. This gap can be defined as the difference between the actual and potential outputs of the economy, which refers to actual output. As stated previously, potential output is based on the maximum output that can be given by the economy, whereas actual output is based on output that is actually given by the economy. Potential output are the potential capacity of economy, and actual output are the output that economy has given. As a result, the formula to determine the output gap is as follows: output gap YFE minus YD, where YFE is given $15,000 million and YD, that is equilibrium level calculation, which is 15,715 million dollars. So output gap equal to $15,000 million minus 15,750 million dollars. Output gap minus $750 million, so that output gap is negative, which is minus $750 million.
Hi, my name is Manpreet Kaur and my student ID is 20173711. Here I am going to explain the government spending. Government expenditure is defined as expenditures of the government on infrastructure development such as labor, politics, easy loans, job creation, infrastructure, as well as a variety of the developments. As a result of these expenditures, employment is increasing, which in turn increase income in the economy as well as employment. By using the job keeper service, the government will have to increase its spendings on them by $750 million, which will help people to able to get a job easily, and their income will be increased as a result. Thus, this will lead to an increase in output. In this situation, if the government wants to come back to a position of equilibrium, government should decrease its expenditure by 900 if it wants to get back to a position of equilibrium. And here I am going to explain the changing taxes. In an economy, taxes represent expenditure on the part of the population. So the payment of taxes leads to an increase in expenditures and budget expenditure for the economy as a whole. If the government wants to achieve full employment and manage to close the output gap by reducing the tax in order to bring the output level to equilibrium, then it should reduce taxes by up to $750 million in order to achieve full employment and manage to achieve full employment. In order to bring the output level back to equilibrium, it would be better if we could offer a $750 million tax to rebate in order to get the economy back on track. This should be noted because in this scenario, above $400 of taxes are paid, which is more than the income level calculated for an equilibrium position of the economy. Therefore, if $750 million of the tax payment are refunded, then the economy may in a position of equilibrium in the above scenario if there is a rebate.
My name is Mohammed Sami and my student ID is 20173794. Here I would like to discuss about open market operations. There are several different monetary tools which are being used by the central banks of various countries in order to regulate the market through use of open market operations, which is a quantitative approach to regulating the market as a result of the sale and purchase of different government securities The Reserve Bank of Australia regulates the money supply in the market through the sale and purchase of government securities. The banks can lower liquidity by selling securities and infuse liquidity by buying security by reducing the amount of security the bank sells. This helps to overcome inflation in the market. Impact of changes in cash rate. A bank's funding cost can be defined as the rate of interest, which is the cost associated with borrowing money from other banks. When the cash rate increases or decreases, the funding cost will also fluctuate as the funding cost has an impact on the bank's interest rate, allowing the borrower to remain profitable in the event of an increase in funding cost. If the funding cost increases, borrowing will decrease because of the high interest rate, and in the event that the cash rate decreases, the bank will decrease their interest rate in order to attract customers to increase the amount of money they borrow. As a way to maintain stability in the market and to attract customers, changes in cash rates lead to changes in these banks' competition. In order to be on the safe side, banks also tend to fluctuate their interest rate as a way to maintain market position and to attract customers. The fluctuation of cash rates impact other interest rate in order to be safe from default risk, because if the borrower is not able to pay the borrowed money on time, then it might result in a loss for the bank, and that's why other interest rates are fluctuated as well as cash rates.